In today's video, I'm going to be looking at a new design I'm making, and it's Boudicca. Now, Boudicea, however you want to say it. Now, this is going to be really cool. I have no idea about the history. I've heard of her before, but I don't know the history, hence why I'm on Wiki here having a look. And basically, it's going to prove, this is going to be proving that a beginning doesn't really define where you go. So we're going to start by looking up and just finding out about her. And what I can glean, if you can see here, the image on the screen, that's almost, she looks like Britannia almost. But Boudicca was a queen who basically fought against the Romans. She had two daughters, her husband, the king, passed away, and then she was pretty much left in charge from what I can glean from the quick information I've had a look. And she had two daughters. The Romans were just horrible at the time, conquering everywhere, and she led a revolt against the Romans. And the reason I'm doing this, I had a customer buy one of my pieces of art, and they mentioned that they'd love to see a piece of silver done on Boudica. So I was like, Boudica. I'm not sure how you should say it, but I was like, okay, yeah, I'll have a look at that. And today's the day. So first of all, I'm looking to see the historical side of things. There's obviously the story. The story's really rich and really cool. And now I'm just looking to see what kind of images are out there. And as you can see, most of the images I see is that she's a redhead. There's another, that's a real nice image there, almost like a pre-Raphaelite type of image. So yeah, so she's a red, long-haired warrior, basically. And as always, horses, as you can see, there's a chariot here. From what I can see, there's horses now, big bronze sculpture. I'm guessing this must be a famous sculpture somewhere in the UK. I'll be totally honest, I have no idea. I'm guessing that's, what does it say, London? Yeah, London Museum. So it is a new one on me. So it's kind of a discovery path for me. So I have no idea where we're going to go. Nice stained glass window with a different spelling there. So more of a cartoony one. So what I'm actually doing here is just taking inspiration. I'm just looking through to see whether I can find a picture that I can use as a starting point, because I want to make an AI generation of what I want a silverpunk depiction of Boudicca. And what I can see here, I'm thinking straight off the bat in my head, I want her and a horse, because there always seems to be a horse or a chariot. Again, she's riding a chariot here, so I want a horse in it. Something I've never done before. I've never done a horse in silver. So this will make it interesting. So many. But what a cool story. And we're looking here, she fought against the Romans. So it's the, some might say we could do with her today, couldn't we? With what's going on in England, in the UK. We could do with an uprising, some might say, how the government's going and stuff. But that's a totally another story for another day. But I kind of look at this image. How cool is that? Not quite as warrior-like, but I really like the image because it's got a horse. So I think we'll take that as our starting image. And what I'm going to do now is get it into ChatGPT here. And I'm going to basically ask ChatGPT to help me create the image that I want to do. And this is the beginning. We never know where it's quite going to go. As long as it's in the silverpunk style, that's all what matters. And as I say, the beginnings, you never know where we're going to start from. We never know where we're going to go. We know where we're starting. This is just a generic image I found on the internet, and I want to make that into a silver piece at the end of it. So who knows where we're going to go. And in today's video, I'm just going to show you the image creation. I'm going to show you, I'll probably do one or two generations that I like, and then we'll go with the best ones to move forward to actually make the bas reliefs and the 3D prints. And then hopefully at the end of it, we can come out with a really cool 4-piece panel that will do her justice. We need to do this warrior lady justice. So as you can see here, I'm just giving it the quote. I want to recreate this image in the silverpunk style. I've already got some presets in my ChatGPT, and which I've told it is how I want all my pieces of silver to look like in the end. So when it creates an image for me, it uses the files and the database it's got. So what it's doing now is just giving me a breakdown of what it's going to do. It's going to write me a prompt I can then put in an image generator to make the image that we want. And it just seems crazy. I know I've been doing this for a couple of years now, but it just seems absolutely crazy how we can, do these pieces of art. There's no way. Unfortunately, I haven't got the drawing skill or painting skill to be able to do it. And now it just means that I can make my art. I can make my silver art now because of technology like this. And I know some artists will have a right whinge and a moan saying it's not proper art. Well, I push back. I think it is, because I'm just using this starting image, this AI generated image, as my starting image. A bit like painters will use a reference image, like they'll take a photograph, or even some painters now use AI to make reference images. I see no different to what I'm doing. I'm using that image as a starting image, then I'm generating another image from that one that I've just found on the internet, which will be my image I generated. And then from that, I'm going to make that into a 3D sculpture I push into the sand. So there's so many steps. As you can see, I'm just reading the prompt. I'll be interested to see how this comes out. There you go. There's the prompt there. So that's the prompt it's giving me to put in another image generator. But I think what I'm going to do for a bit of fun, I'm also going to ask ChatGPT to do it, just to see. It's not the greatest image generation platforms. I normally use, Flux or Leonardo or, whichever. It's a case by case. I think this is probably more suited for Leonardo and ChatGPT, this type of subject matter. So as you can see, I've just pasted that into ChatGPT to see what it'll do. So while that's up and started, I think I'm going to whiz across to Leonardo and give Leonardo the prompt and see what he can Leonardo, I'm thinking of Da Vinci, see what that can come up. As you see, I'll just paste it in. I'm not doing nothing special. I'm not changing any of the models or anything. We'll just go straight off the bat and see what we can get, because I have a lot of success doing it this way. But you can go in and change prompts. It's looking cool. I like the imagery, but it's just compositionally, it's just not right, is it? She's looking totally the other way. So it's got that all arse about face look. But I like the overall look, but it's just not right, is it? So we'll have to go again. I like all the armour and stuff. So it's a good start, but we need to generate it again. There we go. See if we get better this time. Oh, there we go. The one on the end. This is the one. Oh, look at the armor. Look how cool. Now, you've got to, when we're looking at these images, you've got to keep in the back of your mind what we're trying to achieve. We're trying to make a piece of silver. So look at that armor and the pattern on the dress. And the horses, I don't know what it's called, the level, it's leather work, isn't it, on its nose? The bridle, is it a bridle? Not sure what they call it. I should know that really. But yeah, the armour and stuff's going to look so cool. So I think that's the one. I really like that image. And as I say, with a bit of tinkering with, we can get that really cool. So I'm going to save that one out and go with that. And I think now we need to look at that. It's really cool, isn't it? I love the way the wind's blowing her hair back, and you can see in the distance there's some soldiers in the distance. So now we're back over in ChatGPT. Now look at this. I wasn't expecting this, because this is the Silverpunk. This is doing it in the Silverpunk presets for ChatGPT. And I got to admit, I'm really pleased with it. I think that's so cool. The look on her face and just the overall image, I think that's superb. I mean, that'd work quite well just with or without the horse. But I think a nice big panel, there's the starting image. I think a nice big panel would look really, really cool. So I'm definitely saving that one out, and we're going to work with that. That was another one I've done in Leonardo. But I think I prefer the original, so let's have a look what we've got. There we go. That was the starting image. So from our beginning, from the starting image, look where we've gone. She's now got armour on, better spear, a sword. I think that's the one. Looking at it, that's the one. But this is the journey we go on. And as I said in the title of the video, the beginnings, you don't know where you're going to end up. You kind of, it evolves, you create, evolve, it becomes. And it's just so exciting to see what we're going to end up with. So now we've got to get them in Canva. Now this is where I've got to do a bit more work with them. And what we're going to basically do now is sort out the framing and the composition of them. So as you'll see, I'll just paste all three in, and also we've got to upscale them. So we just paste them in, but look at that. I think that looks cool as it is. I might have a mess about, see if we can go a bit closer in, but I think that'd make a really cool panel. Really would. I mean, that'd make a fantastic big panel, like a big 16-piece panel. Now I'm just redoing that. I'm just doing the brightness just to bring out the details, because obviously we're making a depth map. So we just want a bit more tonal areas to it. And look at the army in the background. That's, yeah, for me, I know I'm getting excited doing this voiceover, watching it, but at the time I was like, yeah, that's the one. But you got to go with all of them, because you never know how, as I say, this video is all about, creating and evolving. And it's not just in doing stuff like this, it's just in work, in life in general. You never know where things going to lead. You don't know what door's going to open. You can just, you've got to keep going. You've just got to keep trying, keep pushing, and eventually the right doors will open. And I know it's difficult because we all get there, and I've been there, and you're just working and working, and nothing seems to be going right. You're not getting the results that you think you deserve. You're not getting this, you're not getting that, and you just got to put it all out your mind, and you just got to keep plugging away and keep working and keep improving and keep going. That's all there is to it. And eventually, if you keep going long enough, something will happen, because it has to, doesn't it? It has to. It's no good giving up. If you just give up, then it's, nothing comes at the end of it, does it? Nothing gets created. You don't evolve into anything. You just give up, and you'll go on to the next thing, then the next thing, then the next thing. You got to show up, have some consistency, and keep going, even if the results aren't what you want straight away. When you're trying something new, when you go in a new direction, it could be anything, in art, in business, in life, relationship, you name it. But if you keep showing up, keep going for it, eventually you'll start getting some results and getting what you want and what you deserve. And I'm just, as you see here, I'm just playing about. I'm just seeing the framing. Could we get a square panel out of it? Could we just do her? I kind of like that as well. I really like that. She's very striking, isn't she? Very bold. Like, the horse would have to go in the background, but that'd make a nice square 4-piece panel. See if I can get it to fit the framing, which I will do. The horse will go. I think that this could be a really, really cool one. And I think with bits like this, this is getting the composition. They call it composition, don't they? And framing, getting that right is half the battle when you've got a good image. Now, of course, it's all beauty's in the eye of the beholder, isn't it? Some people say it's, I don't like it, but they're not my mindset. I think it's really cool. No, I was just trying to do it the easy way by getting rid of the background, but it's too busy. I'll have to do it by hand. So what I'm doing here, I'm just going in with a magic eraser, and basically we're just going to rub out. It's like it does what it says on the tin. Magic eraser. It'll just get rid of the horse, and it'll just give a generic background, which will look really cool in silver, because it'll give it all different textures. So it'll look like a moody sky behind her, which is absolutely perfect. Now, I can only do this because this fits in and works with the image. Some images, this just doesn't work. So you kind of got to know what you're doing through trial and error. As you can see, it just looks like a moody sky behind. And when that's transferred across to the silver, that's exactly what it'll look like, because we'll get some nice toning in the silver. So I really like that. I got to admit, I like both. I'm sure I've said that far too many times. I really like it. But the third one, we're going to go with that as well. My only worry with this, is it a bit too small? I'm trying to get it in, but I think you lose a bit of the composition. This is a difficult one to mess about with. I'm not sure at the moment. I'll know more when I actually come to do the 3D generation on this one. I know the two above will work because the colours are right and everything. I just can't work out. I think this needs to be a 4-piece square one as well, just to make it right. But it's just like, do we lose too much of it? Because when you think her face is very small. When you think about the overall size of the panel, her features are quite small. So it'd have to be a biggish panel. It'd have to be a big 4-piece to do these big square blocks. I'm not sure whether I like the spear where it's going over the horse's ears. I prefer if the spear was more straight up. Yeah, I really like all the armour though and everything. I think that'd come out really cool. The spear's a bit problematic. Does it? Because it's got to look right in the silver. Again, I think that I've got to generate it in 3D to see. But we'll go with it. We'll go with it and we'll see what happens. So I'm just upscaling that now. And then once that's upscaled, we'll be left with the 3 images. So I think I've waffled on enough today. They're the 3 images I'm going to take forward and try and make a 3D rendering of. And then hopefully make a silver piece at the end of it. And that's my silverpunk interpretation of Boadicea. Cheers for watching.